This is Lee with 82 Gaming 12 here on YouTube channel Sons of Liberty 75. Video 3 of my playthrough of A Great Victory, South Mountain, the American Civil War, volume number 7 in the blind sword system. The system was developed by Herman Luttman. The designer for this volume, Steve Carey, developer Roger Miller, and we have art by Hudson, Keebler, and Mahaffey. And then Richard Handwith did the rules and chart layout. And if you want to know about how to contact Revolution Games, so there we go. We got email, website, and address. Sacramento, California. So this came out in 2022. And this is the first time that I'm playing this. I don't know why I didn't get to it earlier. Maybe because I've got such a backlog of games that I'm trying to play. And rarely do I ever play a game without doing videos. Because if I'm playing, I might as well show the videos so that other players can see the game played, to see whether or not they want to if they want to possibly buy the game. And then the other reason would be just to help other players with playing the game. And you know, I'm not going to have probably the greatest strategy or tactics, and I make errors. I forget to add modifiers. I forget a rule. I play so many games that, especially Napoleonics, that the rules of the various Napoleonic games that I play kind of just all get jumbled up in my mind. But so that's what I usually do. Is hey, if I'm gonna play, I might as well do a video. And being a former teacher, it helps to get out a lot of those words that I need to get out. Because when you've done something for, you know, I did it for 15 years. And although I have no desire to do it anymore, I still have the need to, I guess, teach. So this is how I'm letting that out. All right. This is, I'll just say, this is by far my favorite tactical Civil War, American Civil War series. And honestly, I'll tell you, I just kind of wasn't that interested in American Civil War games. Not because I didn't have an interest in the history, because I did. I did a lot of reading. But the older games just, they didn't have, I didn't think that they handled Civil War combat properly. Now, I will say I never played the SPI. Great Battles of the American Civil War series until just recently. And I don't really understand why, besides the fact that, excuse me, where I live, I'm kind of isolated from the gaming, wargaming crowd. I live in Texas, and back in the mid to late 70s and early 80s, there, you could find gaming stores here or there, pretty rare though, but there were a few that I went to. But I don't recall ever coming across the SPI, which I guess those were magazine games. And, I didn't think highly of magazine games at that time. So, but, I've got a lot of the old SPI, Great Battles of American Civil War, games now. Not all of them, but I've got a pretty good little collection now. And so I've started to play those, and there's a lot of things that I really like about that series, and the way that they handle combat and so forth. And I did a comparison video with the Kernstown between Revolution Games and the SPI. So if you want to see how that kind of worked out and my thoughts on that, then you can go to those videos. So we are at the 8:30 turn. Not a lot of counters, or units, I should say, units on the board. So we're going to have reinforcements coming in here. Might be some coming in this way. And then, of course, for the Confederates are coming in over there. And so that direction's north. That's south. That's west. And this is east. And so this is taking place before the Battle of Antietam. So you have the second battle of Bull Run, or Manassas. And so you have this battle that erupts around these gaps that's near South Mountain and close to the town of Boonesboro. Well, somehow an order from Lee, okay, for the movements of the Confederates in September, and this takes place the 14th of September. So I think it was like a week before this, maybe 8th or 9th or so, that he wrote these orders out, Lee did. And he sent them to the various commanders to inform them of where they need to go to and so forth. And an order that was to go to D.H. Hill was found by some Union soldiers. It was wrapped around some cigars. and that's the famous Order 91. And so that gets back to McClellan. And so McClellan knows that he has an opportunity to catch the Confederates spread out.
Gary.
So McClellan knows the campaign plan, okay, up to this point. And so that's what happens here at South Mountain. So you're going to have this large, you can see easily, okay, get a little closer here, but you can see that the Confederates are greatly outnumbered. Well, you got Stonewall. He's down here and look at this map here. We've got, so here's Turner's Gap, here's Fox's Gap. Okay, way down here is Harper's Ferry. So that's where Stonewall Jackson is. He's, he is, going to capture Harper's Ferry. So that's the 14th through the 15th. Okay. So while that's going on, okay, you got Crampton's Gap here. Well, you have Jeb Stuart was supposed to be here in Turner's and Fox's Gap, but he left and went down to Crampton's Gap before the orders got to him. So all of his units are down there in Crampton's Gap. And so D.H. Hill is up here, you know, kind of spread out between these two gaps. And he's going to get some help, but you know, Hood's division is pretty much thinned out. They've taken a lot of casualties, and then you have Dr. Jones's division. One of his a couple of those brigades are, you know, like at half strength. And so with McClellan knowing the plan, he pushes hard. McClellan is like he was real cautious. A great organizer, but very cautious. But here he's got the movements of the Confederates. So he pushes for consolidation to try to like defeat Lee's army. So he's got Burnside, Sumner, you know, going up through Fox's Gap, Turner's Gap, and then Franklin going right up through Crampton's Gap. And then, you know, Jackson he'd get his troops marching after the 15th. They got to march up toward Sharpsburg, where Lee's army's pulling back to. After these encounters at Turner's Gap and Fox's Gap, they got pushed back toward Boonsville, and then they just ended up all meeting here around Sharpsburg, which is near Antietam Creek. And this is the battle that the Union claims victory due to the fact Lee had to fall back. Very bloody. And as a result of that battle, Lincoln signs the Emancipation Proclamation, which basically frees the slaves on paper, frees the slaves in the South, the southern states, the seceded states, I should say, not the states that stayed loyal to the Union. It didn't free their slaves. So, Order 91 was the marching orders for the Confederates. And when the Union found that, they knew what Lee was up to. So that's what's going on. So while this is happening around Turner's Gap and Fox's Gap, which is on this map, okay, South Mountain, okay. So we got Fox's Gap and then Turner's Gap right here close. And these were mountain passes to get through these mountains on the East Coast here. Well, while that's going on, further south, that direction, you had Franklin fighting over at Crampton's Gap, okay, where Stuart was at. And so I believe I've got, so I go 593, I think. Actually, we've got, this is a view, it's a drawing taken from a photograph in 1886. This is a view from Turner's Gap looking southeast. So, you know, you've got Turner's Gap here. Okay, so looking this direction, off this way. And of course you see the pike running along that. There was a fence. I believe that's where the pike's at on that. And of course here we've got Jeb Stuart, okay, from drawing from a photograph. And this is a Confederate dead at a crossroads by Wise's house at Fox's Gap. So you can see the stone fence there. Okay. Well, Wise's house is, of course, let's pull up right here. This is Wise's house right here. And so here's that stone fence right there. Okay. And it says this was a sketch. This was a sketch made the day after the battle. So you still have the dead there around that area. And here, this is Forcing Fox's Gap of Turner's Gap. This is by Jacob D. Cox, Major General, United States. So this is from the Union. This is the Union's depiction. Okay. So we get two sides. We get the Union side, and then we also get the Confederate side. And then we have notes on Campton's Gap and Antietam by Franklin. And here's the this is the, let me pull back a little bit more. Okay, so this is the Battle of Crampton's Gap. This is happening south, same day, happening south. Okay, so you have R.H. Anderson Okay. And then over here you've got Slocum's division, but Franklin is the commander. Smith's division. So this is 6th Corps. And right here you got Stewart's cavalry right here. So we've got the Battle of South Mountain, or Boonesboro, whichever side you're on. And then we have the Battle of Crampton's Gap happening. And that's because the Union, they have Lee's plans, and McClellan is acting upon them. So let's get started. This is, like I said, it's the 8:30 turn. And of course the book, Battles and Leaders of the Civil War, the struggle intensifies. And this, like I said, is volume 2, published by Castle. And it's a collection of first-hand accounts. Okay, people that were involved, that or witnesses to the events. And, you know, if you're a Civil War buff, then you really need these books. You can get them at Half Price Bookstore, you know, and you can even go online and order them. So I think you know, it says 1098 here. Of course, it was probably a lot more than that when it was first published and released. This is a hardback, you know. Stamp says Houston, Texas Bookshop. But, you know, I think I got it probably for like $3 because he was on clearance. And I think I've got all the volumes. You want to understand what's really happening. And, you know, instead of just buying a book that some current author writes, where do you think he's getting a lot of his information? You know, he's getting it from information that's in this book. You know, what I like is all the drawings and stuff that are in here. You don't have actual pictures, you know, you have drawings, and drawings are often either pictures or just sketches that individuals used. And I like the old style maps and so forth. So, you know, check that out. I'm sure they're readily available. All right, so we start by where'd this guy come from? Oh, the guys are all falling down over here. Of course, now I gotta turn all those guys over. So you fix the draw cup, okay, with the leaders, with the Fortunes of War, Fog of War, and then you put the event chits in there. And then you're ready to go. So the first thing we have to do is, of course, we do the artillery phase. And the Union always gets to go first. Now, if you're looking out here, and I've got these discs out here, these discs are representing victory locations. And it's easier for me to see them with the disc on there than those stars. Especially when you have like counters on top. You know, it's easy to forget where some of these are at. So I have these discs that I got at like Dollar Tree. You know, they come in a pack. And multiple colors. Just the basic colors. But the blue represent important Union victory locations. The red, the Confederates, and then the yellow are both. So, all right. Let's see here. I'm gonna see how many of these I have. Should have quite a few. I'm just marking some of these. There it is. Okay, so those are the Union artillery. Confederate artillery. And then, of course, we have the artillery park back yonder. Okay, now to move them is going to give away victory points. So I don't want to move those unless I have to. I don't want to give away victory points as the Confederate player. All right. Now, some of the newer games have counters that on one side says fired, on the back side says moved. And so you can place that on top of the artillery so that you designate which ones have already activated. This volume didn't come with that. This was before they came up with that counter. So I'm just going to take these blocks away. All right, so the first thing we have here is, I think we're going to look at Gibson here. He's at a lower level, and this is a steep slope. Well, it's a, I guess it's a, let's see, what exactly is it considered? Just a slope. Okay, so it's going to block line of sight to these units, this unit here, and that unit he could probably see that unit back there. He's in the woods. Now this unit he can see. Okay, this unit here, I think it's going to be blocked, even though he's at a higher level. Just the fact that let me use this white counter so we know exactly where we're at right now. See, he's got this here, his line of sight. If he was, well, even there, if he was here, no problem. But being there, I don't think he's going to have line of sight to here. He would here. Well, we're gonna fire over here. We'll use this orange one here. So we're going to fire here. The Pelham. And Pelham is just in the open. Okay. Now, the range, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Horse artillery, the range for them, rifle though. Okay. This is different. Okay, so they have rifled cannon. So they can go all the way up to 14. So at 5, he's effective. So he'll be firing at 100%, which is 6. Okay. Firing across adjacent steep slope, we don't have that. Okay, so it'll just be a strength of 6. So we're firing right here at this unit. I think we can probably see this one as well, but of course he's in the woods. We want to do something about that artillery unit there. So okay, so we've got a strength of 6. Okay, roll a 44. Strength of 6. All right. That unit has cohesion of 4, but they're not supportive, so that'll be a 3. It's going to be routine. Look at this. See, you go look at this way. Okay, so routine. Three and 5. 3 and 5 is going to be retreat 2. You can't go over. You can't go over that stone wall. Stone wall not allowed for artillery. So he's going to have to go this way. 1, 2. All right, so he can no longer activate. That artillery unit is knocked out for this activation. Okay, so we're done there. Now we have the Confederates. So they've got this one here, and they can't see here or here, or there. So you just have to sit there. All right. So I'm going to pass with this one. And so the Confederates will get to the Union will now go again. And we've got this one here. It's gonna move. Clear costs 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's gonna be slow moving. All right, so they're done. And then the Confederates, of course, they've got that one over there, and it's gonna sit still because it's waiting for those Union troops to show up. All right, and then we come back to the Union. Turnpike only cost half a hex. So half, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5, 5, 5.5. Okay, he'll have to stop right there. Because otherwise he's got 5. Yeah, he'd end up stopping right here on top of somebody. So, and he can't end his movement with cavalry. All right, so he's finished. Okay. I think I'm gonna have to look and see about this the artillery park again. Okay, so the rebel player pays a one-time 1 victory point cost per battery to send any one of his battery park units into the South Command area before 12:30 p.m. So they can stay north. They can actually move up. Okay. So, for some reason I was thinking if they moved at all, but so they can move and stay within 2 hexes south of the turnpike. So they can move forward and they can be used. So can't go into woods. Oh, that he's on a trail. Okay. Now we want to get these guys in here. What are we doing? All right, so that's 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3. 3.5, 4, 4.5, 5. And then he's stacked there. This one here, well, 1, 2, 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5, 5, 6. So he's going to go there on that trailer. This unit here goes, let's see, going just down a gentle slope is +1. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5, 5, 5.5, 6. This one here, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5.5, 6. All right. Now we're going to start drawing out of the cup. Skirmish, not going to use that yet. I got to put him back in here. So they've got this here to use. Yeah, nobody's close enough. All right, so Pleasanton, all he has is Farnsworth. So let's see if he can activate. Gotta get a 3 or less. I rolled a 4. So limited activation, and that's it. I can't do anything. Okay. Okay, Fortunes of War. Next chit pooled is disregarded. All right. Fatigue. Confederates don't get that fatigue event. Charge. I think that has, yeah, that's got to be infantry. So nobody's close enough. Don't think. Let's see. Make sure we're just make sure. Let's see what it says. Charge. So I guess it's the unit's got to be adjacent to someone for. It says it just immediately conducts a normal close combat. Okay. Okay, fog of war. So we got a 2. All right, a 2 says rough going. For remainder of the turn, Union units under a maneuver order subtract 2 movement points from the movement allowance. There's no effect on Union formations that are not under a maneuver order. Okay. Put that right there as a reminder what's going on. All right, so we got Cox, Scammon, Crook, which Crook's not on yet. Yeah. West Virginia Cavalry. So let's see if we can activate the West Virginia Cavalry over there. Oh, I got a 6. So nope, they can't activate. That would be a limited activation. All right, goes back in the cup. Oh, look at that. Again, I always tend to do that. I don't know how in the world I do that. All right, let's see if Scammon can activate. Okay, we got a 3, so they can activate. All right, and let's see here. They do a maneuver. They're going to lose 2. Attack. They can move 5. Maneuver. That's not cavalry. That's not artillery up there. That's just cavalry. That's just cavalry. All right, so the rough going, not really close enough. So they're going to do a maneuver. Normally they would have 7. But due to the rough going, they're down to 5 movement factors. Okay, so you get in position to be ready to attack. The thing is, if we get too close, then the Confederates still have activation. They can jump on us. So all right, so this unit here, 1, 2, and then 3 into here is 5. That's their 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. They go to there. 1, 2, 3. Upslope. 3, 4, 5. They go to there. And then this one. 1, 2, 3. 4. He just stops right there. All right, so Cox is finished. We don't really need to keep that. All right. Next. Now, they can now play the skirmishers because this unit here is close enough. So 1, 2, 3. All right. And you can play that at any time at the start of start in any chit draw phase. So you ignore terrain, line of sight, all of that. It's just one, strength of one. Okay. So skirmishers, gets that unit. And he's in the woods. So his cohesion, instead of being a 4, is actually a 3. So strength of 1, roll to 41. Strength of 1, 41, he'd have to have a 0, so no effect. Okay. All right. Oh, shoot. Well, I think I lost one of my chits. I don't know if DH Hill was still in there. I think I have an extra. Let's see if I have an extra one. Yeah, I do. Doesn't have all the things on the back of it. That's all right though. All right. I don't know what happened to that chit. See it on the floor. All right. Oh. All right. So now we got skirmishers here. So we're going to hold on to that. So we'll put it back there. All right, we got DH Hill. And seeing how he's all we got left, oh, there it is. Found it. So he's actually got he's got 5 brigades and some cavalry that he can activate. But here he's got 2 brigades and the cavalry. And let's see about possibly activating Garland. Roll to 5 so they can activate. And I think think they're going to do a maneuver. They're not close enough to fire at anybody. They don't have line of sight. And in this game, you fire before you move. But if you're going to maneuver, you can't fire. But they can't fire anyways. But I want to get them in position. Okay. So they can't move adjacent. If they maneuver, they can't move adjacent. All right, so we're going to go 1, and then that'll be 3, 4. Okay, so there's 4. This one goes 1, and then goes to there. This one here. Going to go 1, 2 to there. This one here, 1, 2, 3. Okay, that there is going to be going down. That's going to be going down a steep slope. It's not vertical. That would be 2, cost 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right there. This one here. One, 2. You're just going to go to there. All right. Okay. Let's see here. Look here at something. Okay. Now I could perform that skirmish here, but I'm going to hold off and wait. All right, so now we're going to see if Colquitt can activate. We got DH heal, and now we're looking at Colquitt. Colquitt. Ooh, I rolled a 6, so they can't. All they could do is perform a limited activation, which would be a fire. All right. All right, so we still have the West Virginia Cavalry over there. Um, but I go ahead and roll, but I mean, I'm not going to activate them. I don't want to do anything with them over there. They're kind of protecting the flank right here. I guess I can flip them over there. Flip them over to their, just do a maneuver and flip them over to their infantry side. All right, so that takes care of that turn. Well, no, I want to do the skirmish here. Okay, so what is skirmish? Let's skirmish the big unit here, right here. So skirmisher versus this unit here. They're going to have a cohesion of 3. All right, 43. I don't think that's gonna do anything. 43, yeah, it's no effect. All right, and of course their charge for the Union isn't going to be able to be used. So all right, so that takes care of that turn. Go to the next turn, which is 9 o'clock. All right. All right, so we have our empty cup. So in that cup, we put D.H. Hill, Cox, Pleasanton, the 2 Fogs of War, Fortune of War, Fog of War, and then we have that stuff there, and of course we have this here. All right, so the Union decides they want to use the firefight, and then we flip the rest of these over and mix them up. Throw one in. We don't want to look at those. And then for the Confederates, I think they want to keep the reaction. Keep that one. And then flip these over. Spin, spin, spin. And we pick one, throw it in. Okay. So we have the Union artillery step. Move or fire. And put our cup over there. We've got, of course, we've got here and here, and there. And for the Confederates, we've got that one, that one. All right. So right, so this guy here can't be seen. We've got this woods here. So we've got this unit here, Gibson. You can see this guy and this guy. But that's it. So it's gonna probably wants to move. I'm gonna wait, and I'm gonna move this one here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, as far as he goes. All right, and then the Confederates. I'm gonna send this one south. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, now that's gonna give the Union a victory point. This one here, I moved this one south. He was in here, moved him to here. All right, now we're back to the Union. We're gonna move this one. One, well, half, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he's going south. Okay. Then we have Confederate. You don't want to move yet. This one here is going to go back half, 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, 4.5, 5.5. Goes there. I don't know where he's going. All right, so Gibson. Uh, 1, 2. So he goes to there. And of course now he's going to get fired on by Lane and Bondurant. So that's a total of 10. Rifled and then mixed. 1, 2, 3.
Both effective.
So that's going to be a strength of 10. He's going to have a cohesion of 3. 51. That's going to be tough. Uh, 65. Whoa. That's a D2, but of course there's only 1 unit there. So two morale hits and retreat 2. 1, 2. Oh, they got blasted. All right. So they fired. Okay, so the Union didn't have any artillery left. So this one here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, he goes to there. And then the other one, okay, so this one, half, 1, 1.5, 2.5, oh yeah, 3.5, 4.5. Now if I do that, yeah, I gotta leave it here. He's got to stay within 2 hexes of this pike. So, yeah. All right. That's all the artillery. So now we go to the chits. First chit is fatigue. All right, so with the fatigue, play immediately. Select an enemy unit that does not have a morale hit marker and give it a shaken marker. So, what do we want to do here? All right, what we're going to do, We're going to give a shaken marker. To this unit here. This is Garland, 5th North Carolina, the bigger unit. All right, next chip, D.H. Hill. All right. Colquitt, I really can't move Colquitt besides, well, can't, yeah, I guess I could. Let's check this stacking. Okay. Wait a minute. I don't think I can stack those together. Well, yeah, I can. 10 strength points. Oh, yeah, okay, so 6 and 4. Yeah, I can, okay. So that's a total of 4.5 and 3. That's 7.5, so the only unit that could stack with them would have to have a strength of only 2. So, okay. Talking about these two here. I don't have anybody that small. And the thing about Colquitt, okay, those units have to stay within 6 hexes of this right here, the mountain house. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is as far as they can go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's as far as they can go right there. They could go to here, go to here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's as far as they can go, you know. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. I think I'll try to do this over here. Oh, I got a 6. So all they could do is they could fire. So Garland here, the 13th, he can fire at this unit, I think. He's got rifled, yeah, rifle. So let's see here. Rifle, yeah, extreme, that'd be 25%. So he's got, okay, it'd be 1. Okay, that unit has a 4. Yeah, I'd have to get like a 60 something. Let's see what he can do. 61. No, that's not enough. All right. This guy that's shaken, he can fire, he's at a higher elevation. He can fire at this guy in the woods. So he could fire at this one. Can actually fire at this one too. But we'll fire there. And okay, target's in woods though. And he's firing 1, 2 hexes away. That'd be half. So he's at 6 right now. That'd be 3. Okay. 3 goes down to 1. You get a CR of 3. 0.3 is not enough. Okay, that's it. That is it. Okay, throw him back in the cup. So Garland's finished. All right. Fortunes of War. Next chit disregarded. And the next chit is the Fog of War. All right, we got D.H. Hill. All right, that West Virginia unit isn't within range. So I'm not. Go ahead and roll. We got a 4. He's not going to do anything. All right, so he's turned over. And still got Colquitt to do something with if I wanted to. Okay, we got Firefight. Don't know if we're going to use that or not. All right, so we got Cox. All right, so Cox. Let's see if he can get his cavalry moving over here. Yes, I got a 2. All right, so hey, they're going to do a maneuver. Let's back off a little bit. Okay. So half. Oh, let's see. Cavalry. They go road march. Be half. Otherwise, it's 1. I guess he could be road march. That'd be half, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3.5, 4.5, 5.5, 6.5, 7.5, 8.5. So he'll have to stop there. All right. All right, we got D.H. Hill. So it'll be trying to activate Colquitt. We got a 2, so we can activate Colquitt. It's really not going to be really, I think, moving much. Because they've got to stay 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right there. This guy here, he's gonna fall back over here, I think. So to go down a steep slope, +2. That's 2. We're doing a maneuver. 2, 3. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He goes to there. He's gonna look back up there. All right, so he's finished. Okay, so Pleasanton is going to try to activate his cavalry. Got a 1, so he can activate them. All right. All right, to go up a steep slope. That costs cavalry all. Infantry 4. Okay. So he's going to change. So they're going to do a maneuver. Sorry. All right. So that costs 3. All right, going up that road, just 1. So 3, 4, 5. Moves there, 5. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. And we go 4. We want to provide some support for that artillery unit to rally, so forth. This unit here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right there. All right, so they're done. Pleasanton's done. Okay, firefight for the Union. They don't have anybody close enough. Well, you could do a firefight. You don't necessarily have to fire with anybody. Okay, so Cox here. Um, well, he's got the cavalry. Well, already did the cavalry. Um, so Scanman, he'll try to do Scanman. All right, got a 4. All right, so now, let's get in here. Now, we can do, yeah, we can do, let's see here. We're going to fire first. We're going to do an attack. So we're going to fire here. 1, 2, 3, that's rifled. That's going to be extreme. So that's going to be 1, 1.5 or 1 3/4, something like that. So it's going to be firing on a sea level. And he's got a 4. I don't think, yeah, well, if I roll, I'd have to roll 60 something high. 56, not enough. Okay. Well, he should be able to fire here. He's behind that stone wall. He's at that higher level. Yeah. Fire over the orchard there. 1, 2, so it'd be half, so it'd be 3. That would go down to 1. That unit will have a CR. Well, he only had a CR of 3. What I roll a 56, that's still not enough. Okay. So he's in the, no, he's not in the woods. But these guys are in the woods, so they don't provide support. So he's actually going to have a 0. All right. So that'll be a pretty good opportunity. So 3 has to go down 1 because it's behind the stone wall. So 32. Nothing. Okay. That's it. All right, so now we have a movement of, I think, 5. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so that's 3, and then that's 4, 5. Okay, this guy here, he could go 3 up that slope. That's a +1, 4, 5. Okay, this guy can go 1, and then he goes into that, what is it, the orchard, costs 2. This guy, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, right there. Okay. I want to Okay, so we're gonna attack here to here. This guy's attacking here. These two guys are attacking this guy. Okay. Alright, so defensive fire. Fire here, fire here, fire here. And this guy, well, he could provide, well, he can fire here against this guy. Alright, so let's go there first. Alright, he only has a fire strength of 2. Okay. Target is behind the stone wall, so that goes down 1. So now he's at a strength of 1. He's got RS. Rifle and smoothbore. Okay, he's not going to get any benefits. Okay. And target has a cohesion of 3. 62. Oh. Okay, 62. So he's going to be firing on the routine. Ooh, 65. That's going to be depletion and retreat 2. So he's depleted and retreats 2. 1, 2. It's like that. Okay. Next, here, yeah. Defensive fire here. He's 3 with rifled. This guy's just in open. That guy's an orchard. Let's see. I don't know. Let's see if orchard. I think you could still get support from orchard. Yeah, they still get support. So he'll have a cohesion of 3, strength of 3. 13 is going to be no effect. All right. So this guy has a strength of 6. And then the other unit, I think his fire strength will be halved. Let's go to defensive fire. Close combat. Okay. Okay, other enemy units adjacent to any currently attacked unit and who are not themselves a target of a different declared close combat during this step may also issue defensive fire, but with only 50%. can also provide, well, they can't provide supportive fire, just what they call it. Yeah, well, I guess it is termed supporting defensive fire. Okay. So firing on this unit here to here. Okay, he's on the other side. Plus firing across adjacent steep slope. That's not a steep slope, but it is firing target behind the stone wall. So that's 6. Okay, targets in orchard. That goes down by 1. Stone wall by 1. So from 6 he goes to 5 to 4. And that unit has a cohesion of 4. 11 is no effect. And then this unit here is going to fire here. Okay. And that's not a steep slope. But target's behind that stone wall. So he's in the woods though. Okay. Alright, so that's he only gets half. So he'll have a strength of 2 because of the stone wall down to 1. Alright, so 35. Nothing. Okay. Alright, so now we go to close combat. Alright, let's have these two. So we got, we'll use this unit as the main unit. This unit will be supporting against this unit here. Alright, so that's I think we have to use okay, so we have to start off at 7. And outnumbering was 12 to 6. That's 2 to 1. So we go up 10 to 11. All right. And they both have rifles. The greater CR, they have the greater CR, the attackers do. So we go to 12 to 13. Across the stone wall, we go back to 10 to 11. That's not a steep slope though. It's that is just a slope. Okay. So up a slope though, we go down 3. 1, 2, 3. It's not a flanking attack. So we're at 5. .44, and he's got a 0 CR. So 44, that's going to be tough. .34, okay. we have both get depleted. And then all retreat 2 with a morale hit. So this unit gets depleted. This unit gets depleted. We get a morale hit, so they become disrupted. And they have to retreat 2. 1, 2. And then these guys can actually move in there. Like so. Okay. Now we've got this unit attacking this unit, so it's 7 to 3. Okay. So he starts it at 7. That's 2 to 1. He moves up to 10 to 11. He's in the woods, so he doesn't get support. So he's going to have a higher CR, 12 to 13. And that's it. So we're at 12 to 13. He's going to have a CR of 2. All right, so we got 56. What I say, a 2. So that's going to be severe. $35. Depletion. Break check. Retreat all 3. Okay, so he gets depleted. He has to make a break check. All right, so we roll 1 dice. I get a 5. Now he's got a CR of 1. So he's going to the broken track 3. Okay. And he can move in there. Does he want to move in there? if they're broken, they can advance 2 hexes.
So he could go to here and then go to there. I think they're going to stay right there. Or they can support each other. All right, now that's all of Cox. We don't have anybody left. So now we've got something to draw from the cup. Before we do that, the Union player is going to play this firefight right there, here to here. So it's a total of 9. Okay. And that Unison Woods. So we go from 9 down to 5. And he's going to have a CR of 3. 33. No effect. Now they get to fire back. He's in the open. That'll be just 4. And he's got a 2. 33. 4. Okay, no effect. All right. That's all of there. That one. So we pull out the last one. This is reaction. I don't know that they're going to be able to use that. Let's see, reaction. Says, play immediately. Pick one Confederate non-artillery unit with normal morale status and conduct a defend order with just that one unit. The unit's parent brigade status has no effect. This is a free defend order. So the unit could move. We can move 3. We can still fire. I guess they're going to fire. I'll fire with these guys again against this guy. So that's 9. We'll go down 2 to 5. He has a CR of 3. 61. And I said he has a 3? Okay, that'd be routine. 25. He's gonna have to retreat 2. So 1, 2. Push him back to there. All right. Oh, whoa. That's a Union. That's not a Union reaction. Bring that back. That's a Confederate. That's a Confederate. So we can recover.
that means, okay, I want to use that on this guy back here. So that unit we can rally, but at a much reduced rate instead of from a regroup. No, he's not far enough away. So you have to move first, which I could move him, and then he could rally. So I just moved him back here. So now he's far enough away. So he can remove one morale hit. So he can go from disrupted to shaken. Okay. So we do that. All right. And then we have the firefight here. I don't think they want to do that, because they're going to fire, and then those guys are just going to fire back, even though those guys are in the open. Well, they only have a, let's see, well, they got a, let's go ahead, we'll go ahead and do this. Okay, so we got a strength of 4. They have a cohesion of 2. $35, and oh no, oh well, let's see. Yeah, they got a cohesion of 2. That's going to be routine. Might get something out of it. Get them to retreat. So 35, yeah, we get them to retreat 2 hexes. 1, 2, or 1, 2, I think we go there. All right. So Scammon was able to disrupt the Confederate line, but then they were pushed back. And Farnsworth has dismounted, preparing to probe the Confederate defenses. And they're going to get Crook coming in this next turn at the 9:30 hour. They're going to get Crook's brigade and some more artillery coming in right down this road, this pike here. So maybe they want to hold off until Crook can get there to which if the Union just kind of sits and doesn't mess with Colquitt, they can put pressure on Fox's Gap. But the thing is, Crook, let's see. Well, yeah, he is part of the south area. So they can go, yeah, he can go south, go up the pike. So back off a little bit more here. All set. All right, so Crook can either go up the pike this way, all the way up here, and then cut down. Thing is, his artillery though would have to go way around. So I think they might go here, go over here to Mincer's sawmill. I think this here was taken over. Which way did I go? I think I went that way. I think this here should be turned over. Well, oh, okay, it's just a Confederate victory location. Okay, that's what's going on. Okay. This is a Confederate only. All right, so they do have control of that. So this. I guess I can put a green on there that they've taken it. All right. And let's see, the Confederates don't get anybody until 10, 11, and then 12. And those brigades are be coming in on the other end of the pike there, over here. And Ripley, is that it? Yeah, Ripley, he may not get to come in. Historically, he claimed he was lost, got lost, took the wrong road or trail or whatever, and ended up getting reprimanded for it because he didn't show up to fight. All right. And that happened at times with soldiers doing things to keep from having to fight. Can't think of what battle it was. I don't know if it was Gettysburg or where it was, but might have been a different battle. But might have been, I don't think it was Antietam, but soldiers ditched their shoes, threw their shoes to the side because they had got word that soldiers that didn't have shoes wouldn't have to fight. They would be just collected at the rear and wouldn't have to fight. So not sure what battle that was. Maybe it wasn't even the Civil War. I want to say it was though. So, all right. So that's the end of the 9 o'clock turn. Next video we'll be picking up at 9:30, and we'll have Crook in taking part. So I'll go ahead and do the cut, get that all ready for the next video.